Hello, everyone. Today we have few questions, not many, and we are exploring again the domain area of product owner, or I would say product management. Recently, what I see is that the business agility is becoming important. People are focusing on evolving their business models, and because of that, I am finding good amount of interest is getting created in a product management, product ownership space, and that might be the reason we are getting few like more than usual interaction on product management space. So we have a professional, and she is willing to share some of the questions. Okay, let's get started. Go ahead. Maybe you want to talk about your experience and the question. Yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Saket.
Hi.
Hi, Saket. I am 10 years experience. I have now joined into a role of a product owner in a new organization. So I have a couple of questions and I want to have an understanding about exactly the product owner role and how they are different from the product managers in a company.
Mm-hmm.
So and what should be their vision and priorities and doing their roles and responsibilities. So while interviewing for that, I had a few questions for which I wanted some help out from
Sure,
you.
sure,
So
sure.
the first thing which they ask is if there is a new product or owner who they are want to willing to hire. So how will he or she increase the chances of delivering high value product?
Okay, so what I suggest here is maybe first we need to be clear that difference between product owner and product management. And sometimes we may need to ask the interviewer also that what does it mean, but what does it he mean when he talks about product management and product owners? Yeah. Now, many cases, this is a little confusing. It's not a universal way of looking at these roles, but especially when there are some scaling frameworks are in place, maybe a scaled agile or something, they will have some senior integrated product management role, which they may call it product manager. And the whole product or a whole solution, sometimes it's a solution rather than a product, may have various parts in it, various, you can say component on sections in it, or areas in it in the absence of any name. And on those area level, we have a specialized people who are working with the development team to get that area developed well. So many time, especially if people are using scaled agile framework or influenced by scaled agile framework, the role which is done by the area group is called product owner, the individual who is providing the clarity on overall requirement, which might be important for that particular area. That particular section is called product owner. That person and the team, he works with the one Scrum team. Whereas someone who is working with the complete product or a solution where multiple areas are integrated may be doing a product management job. So now, why this differentiation is important? Because accordingly, you can answer how do you add value, how do you get started, how do you prioritize things, and how do you fit into the big picture. If you are a small product owner, or in a say that if you are a part of one area focused person, you deliver value by integrating with other areas and understanding the big picture, and also making your area as well as your team more and more aware and focused on the overall delivery of the application or a solution. So that part we need to be clarified. What is your view when I explain this all?
Okay. So you mean we need to know the business roadmap in order to understand how we have to work towards it to deliver the high value product? Can we
Yeah,
ask that in the interview, or that is one we have to get into after the we get into the product? We need to know, like, do can we ask that question upfront in the interview
yeah.
about
So
the roadmap of the what? Yeah.
So what one possibility is one can talk about their previous experience and share the overall structure. In many interviewers may ask about draw an stakeholder engagement chart, or they will call it kind of your relationship with other stakeholders, where you fit into overall organization. Sometimes they says draw your organization network and show me where you were. Yeah, so it is more about showing how you fit into the existing, how you were there in that particular overall structure which were delivering customers value. Yeah, so that if that discussion has already happened, that gives both of you a clarity that what role you are playing and what role they are expecting. Sometimes the interviewer also end up explaining what role they are expecting from you by drawing the similar network or a hierarchical diagram where they show that this is how the organization is, this is how the various stakeholders and teams are, and here you will fit, and this is how you will deliver the value. So that clarity is needed. Now if you see that person is not informed enough, and he just wants to hear your answer and he's not open enough to talk that much, then you can give a generic standard things and keep them tentative, like okay, we as a product owner, my whole focus is how do I meet customer needs in an effective way. So as a product owner, first thing I do is I empathize with my end customer. I understand how the overall kind of this product is. So the empathizing with the customer is not about only focusing on the solution, but understanding why the person is buying this solution. So I will understand their compelling need for purchasing the product or the service. And now once I know that, then I will see how my product and overall prioritization can take care of those compelling need in a seamless way, or a better than someone else who is doing right now. So and that is how you add value at a very nutshell level. Now in order to achieve that, sometimes you won't be able to do it alone, especially if you are in a product owner space, in a scaled agile kind of a context. You work with other business people, you work with other product managers in order to achieve that. If you are in a independent agile team fashion, where there is a team, there is a product, and you are the one, your team is the one who is directly delivering the solution to the end customer, and there is no in between kind of, there are stakeholders but they are not in between stakeholder. In those cases, you do the overall work by way of directly interacting with the customers and understanding their needs, and taking care of those needs through your solution. So how do you meet those needs depends upon how the overall, I would say, system is emerging in your organization for delivering the product. Yeah. So in a large and complex organization, you show that I work with stakeholders, because that is what they are expecting also. They are not expecting many times, especially from a product owner, that you will be doing something where you are taking care of end-to-end and product in some scaled agile kind of environment. They don't expect that from you. They expect that you work with existing stakeholders and business stakeholders. Whereas in a small organization, or where there is the way they are designed, little agile independent team who can deliver things, they may expect you from doing end-to-end job. So you can speak generic, and then you can sense which direction it is going, and accordingly you can adapt. That's possibly, I think, I can suggest here.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. Oh, okay. In addition to that, if we are new to the domain and
Mm-hmm.
new to the organization, and there's already a product backlog items there, so how do we instantly sit with the team and do the product backlog prioritization there? Do we need to
Mm-hmm.
take help from the, who would be a first person to get help from, whether it will be a scrum master, or it's a dev team, or
Mm-hmm.
it is, as you said, as a stakeholders? But and if you're
Mm-hmm.
an individual individual team there, then who would be a first point of contact to reach out to?
Perfect. So the way I see this question, the interviewer is trying to know how you enter in a unknown territory, how well you can create relationship, and what is your approach. So it is something like, and sometimes they may give you when you a case that you have been hired, and you have this Scrum team. They are working on this product for last 2 years, and they know what they are doing. There is a product backlog, but you need to go and start working as a product owner. But whereas you might know less from them than them. Now, how do you get started? Yeah, so that's a good a question in a way, and that's a good situation to also look at. Yeah. So again, there will be not a universal answer because it all depends, but there are few elemental things which will be always needed. And one of the element of this entry in a new unknown territory would be that you spend time in learning and observing things. So you need to clearly come up with some kind of a strategy depending upon how much you understand that particular organization, that I will spend some time observing what is going on. I will spend some time looking at the existing product. Before I look at a product backlog, I will look at a product. If it has been released before, I will also look at the type of value the end customers are getting from them. So that's a homework kind of things, you know. So you may have some steps, and that's also a kind of dependent on your own style, that I do a homework to understand where do we stand. And then you start talking about, once you are done with the homework, then you start doing observation, that okay, now I observe how the teams are working, how the current prioritizations are happening, how much prioritization is already done, and if there is an existing product owner who is going to leave that team and you are going to get replaced, like you are going to replace that person, then you work with that person in parallel, and you understand what are his reasons for prioritization, what is working and what is not working, what kind of a job is under progress. Now, if you don't have anyone there, but there must be someone who might be working as a product owner. He might be titled as a Scrum Master or an engineering manager or a project manager. That's a separate thing. But there is someone who must be doing prioritization as of now. So you work with that particular person and you understand that how this prioritization and everything is done, and you continue your homework. And with the homework and parallel working, you start working on refinement and prioritization. And initially you take extra validation from the respective stakeholders, be it a development team, be it a scrum master, or be it that particular person who has been prioritizing. And you show that I remain open for my errors, because I believe since I'm a new guy, I might be doing errors initially, so I need to be extra conscious about it. So I'm clear that I might be making mistakes in the beginning steps, and that's why I will validate more and more often. And then you start getting a kind of a relationship with external people. So you did a homework, you observe the internal people, you work with the internal people, and then you start working with the external people also, who are providing you input. It could be an end customer or their representative who is taking deliveries from you. So something like this, a combination of these can probably help you in getting started. It also depends upon the type of organization you are in, or they are looking for, but such kind of strategies can help. What do you think? Like anything other than this which can help?
Uh,
Yeah.
I think that's a good approach. As you said, if we have a already existing product owner, we can sit with him and or her and have a discussion. If he is not available, maybe the other product owners can have. What I used to do is I used to sit with the Scrum Master and the project manager as well to understand the bigger roadmap and what is the bigger picture. Because sometimes the Scrum Master can be technical or cannot be technical. So I take inputs from everyone, and then I plan something. But it is also, a situation depending on the organization we are going, because too many inputs also can you not lead you to a good result. So focusing on one or two could be, and based on your experience, could be the one better approach. So I think observing and doing our homework is one thing,
Hmm.
which what you said uh, is a good way to follow, I think.
Yeah. So observe, do the homework, and also keep looking at a working product, because I have seen many product owners, they don't feel comfortable looking at the product. Many of them are coming from pure business domain space. So they start, but they don't look at the running product many times. Yeah. And that could be also a negative thing. So you need to look at the product as well. So how the product is working, demo. Like you should have a good understanding of the product.
Yeah. In addition to this, the people in the interviews also expect or ask that what is your timeline expectation that you can be able to understand the product and start delivering. This is something which I have heard a lot, like they want an answer whether how, because suppose if the domain is also new, so it is bit challenging for the person to first understand the domain and then understand the product and start working towards the business or giving a high end delivery of the product. So do you think specifying a timeline in an interview would be a good idea, or how do we have to approach that?
Uh, yeah, see, my guess is someone who is asking that question may want to see how eager and how confident you are, because everybody know that things will evolve as we go along, but they just want to hear answer from you. Now, and you need to be conscious that extreme answers could be dangerous because you don't know what kind of answer the person is looking for. So one of the extreme answer could be that I should be productive within a day or two. Yeah, so something like this. You are quite predictably saying, or you are saying, yeah, it will take maximum 1 week, and I should get to the speed. Now you may see that you may think that you are showing a good confidence, but it may also get interpreted as that this person doesn't know the depth of the job, and he is too overconfident and he believes he knows everything. So someone may interpret it like that. Yeah. Now, the reverse could be that you go to another extreme where you say, it's very difficult to tell. I am such everything is new for me. I need to understand what is product, and I need to talk to the people. And I have never worked in this kind of environment before. So I don't know. Yeah, it will be evolving over a period of time. That's another extreme where the stakeholder may see that this guy looks like very lacking the confidence, and is very safe player because he doesn't even have a kind of a zeal and enthusiasm to get started and delivering value. So I would say that you need to balance these two things. Now, how do you balance that? So if I have to answer it, I would say that there will be some set of activities which I should start doing maybe in the first week itself. So things which are primarily done with the help of my facilitation. So you can say that I will start using my facilitation skills. I might not be able to contribute to making decisions, but I can start getting decisions made related to the prioritization, related to other areas, based on stakeholder inputs, based on developers inputs. So you can say that, okay, in a day or two I will understand the whole process, and then I will start contributing, which are facilitation based inputs. And then based on what things are doing, I will move to the second stage where I also start making decision on myself, because initially I am not making decision because I am learning from others, and then I will move to a decision making space. So you can give again an example in the last project what happened. So that's a safe thing to do. So you create something like, last time what happened is this is how I end up doing. Yeah, and I think the similar thing may work here. So you may put a story that last time I joined, initially there were these many people. That was a complex environment, and initially I was facilitating. There were a set of people. I made rule for prioritization. Everybody voted, and based on the votes we were running, I was knowing less about it, but I was asking a lot of questions. Then I did a lot of homework, and then in the next meeting, backlog refinement meeting, I was ready, and I was able to contribute and make at a decision making level from third meeting or second meeting. So this is how you can put a story. So give some answer, show the path, but don't show very predictable path so that they think that you are not mature. And also don't say that I don't know so that they think that you are too afraid.
Okay, that's very well said. So, thank you, Saket.
Yeah,
I generally use examples from the previous one, and that's why I don't give that I'll be done in 1 day or 2 days. So just wanted to show whether I'm going in
yeah,
the right direction.
yeah. And you can just package some roles. Initially, I start with learning,
Yeah,
facilitating,
Saket. So
decision making, something like that.
I have a last question. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Sure. Um, the
Go ahead.
yeah, the last question I had was about the question is always like being a product owner. How do you plan your future releases?
Mhm, mhm. My sense here is,
So this has two parts again.
Mhm.
Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead.
Whether you're already know, I mean, this was something like whether you know about anything about that industry, and or you have no complete knowledge about the industry what you're coming in. So how do you understand the competitors, and how do you understand the value of what you have to deliver in it? So how do you try to approach that process? So that was one.
Perfect. Now, so see, there are various ways to present, and it could be simple to very complex answer. Planning a release, sometimes people who are coming from development space always focus on it is a function of when we complete the requirement we gave it. But as a product management thing, it is not about completing something. It is about identifying what market needs and what kind of a time window we should select so that we get maximum returns from the product. So the person is trying to understand how do you understand and estimate market demand and market needs, and how do you balance your development capacity to the demand. So how do you target a particular point and also consider what we as a development team are able to do about it. So this is how you balance. You can also talk about, as you said, the release strategies or understanding the market also depends upon at what stage your product is, or at a what stage the market for that product is. So if the market is at a very initial stage, so assuming that the type of need you are serving, there are not many competitors around that. In that particular space, you may produce something called generic product, a product which can take care of the given thing. And people, anyway, they don't have anything else to use at that point in time. Someone will adapt, they will start using that particular product to solve their problem and learn as they go along. So you don't, so in that case, you can launch a product with a very less features. You can go ahead and learn along the way, because there are not others who are solving that problem, and nobody knows how the problem will evolve over a period of time. But if the market is already developed, so it's like this, that there are already someone, competitors are already there who are taking care of that particular customer needs, that particular customer segment. And now you want to enter in that particular space. So you are intruding in an established market. Now your approach will be little different. Now what you are doing is you are augmenting something which was not there already. You need to add some special differentiator which can help your customer see that your product has a better value than others. It could be some integration with other product or other markets, yeah, something which was lacking before. So say you have a device, and now this device can integrate with the phone. Yeah, earlier those devices were there, but they were not integrating with Android phone, but now you are integrating with Android phone. So you are augmenting and you are taking care of little extension of the need. Now, in those cases, your product launch strategies or product feature launch strategies will be more focusing on augmenting the product. You will not go with a very basic product in the market because nobody will look at it. So you can go with a basic product when the market is emerging, that there is no clear winners there. So in a sense, what I can answer here is that if somebody is asking that how do you decide the market and release, it says it's depending upon the market demand, the market maturity for that particular product, product maturity, as well as our delivery capability. Because I need to balance my delivery capacity capability against the product and the market space. And depending upon all these things, I find it out. So if you want to use terminologies, we have a one way of identifying and doing it, especially for a prioritization purpose. We call it cost of delay. Yeah, sometimes you say this is a further understanding that, okay, how do I prioritize the features and all. But in general, release is a function of market demand and your capacity. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. It's really nice always to have a discussion with you on the interview questions or understand the product owner role in a much better way. Saket, you make it very simple and easy to take it forward. And thank you so much for your time. And it's
Great.
always a pleasure talking to you.
Great. Thank you. See you next time, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
Bye. Bye. Thank you.